Let's see. Hey there, Facebook. So, this is my second time coming on live already this morning, but I had to share this. I had to take inspired action to come on and share this with you. You see in the title, How to Get in Flow, the flow state. So, even the word flow has an energy to it. Like it's flowing, it's happening, it's working, it's doing its thing. And flow even sounds like ease and grace, right? And so this morning, after I came on live before, and for Instagram, I'm so sorry. I went out, my phone went out on you all, and I didn't know that Instagram didn't save the video. So if you like, you can search for the video on YouTube. So if it ever goes out for you over here on Instagram, you can always go to YouTube and just subscribe. That way you always know when I'm on and you won't miss a broadcast over there. But so this morning, after I came on with you guys, we talked about the fact that you're kind of compromising or lowering your standard to match your current reality, right? So that was what we talked about earlier this morning. And when I got off of that broadcast, I went to the back and I said, I'm gonna ride my bike, right? So I don't know how many of you know that riding the bike is my thing. But when the weather turned cold, I started doing Pilates, right inside my home. I did join a gym before, but gym just wasn't for me. When I tell you, things just have to be in alignment for me, right? I'm fine that I'm disciplined enough to do it at home, and I just kind of like that atmosphere. So I started doing Pilates at home, and today was my first day back on the bike. Okay. And I got on the bike, and if the bike sits for a while, there can be a chance of the tires maybe going a little flat or whatever. So I get on the bike and I notice that I stop like 2 or 3 times and I'm checking the tires, but they're the kind of tires where you can't really tell that it's like flat, but it felt like something wasn't working. So I said, oh, it's probably me that's not working up to my normal momentum because I hadn't been on the bike in so long. And so I said, okay, there's a um, gas station not too far from the route that I take. I'm just going to go over inspirational comedian. Hey, how are you? I'm just going to go over to this gas station and let them see, if they can put some air in my bike tires. And so I did. And I got back on the bike, guys, and it felt like a completely different ride. It felt like a completely different ride, guys. And it made me think, like, as I was riding, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm in flow. Like it wasn't that I hadn't ridden the bike in so long because I've still been working out and doing things. It's because the tires were so low, which required me to put in crazy amount of effort to the point where I felt like it was not working. Now, if you're listening, this is a whole message because many of you are doing things and you're having to put so much effort into it, so much energy into it, that you think that the thing that you're doing is not for you. You think that maybe I need to be doing something else. Now, there are cases where what you're doing requires so much energy. There's no fixing that thing, right? That you do need to be doing something else. But for many of you, it could be things like taking a moment to sit down and think about what keeps you in a state of flow. Now, with flow, it's less your effort, less your effort. Think back. What were those times when things were just moving and shaking for you in your business? When things were going really well in your relationship? What were you doing during those times, right? So many people fall off and cancel out things that don't necessarily need to be canceled out because they're not in their flow state. One of the things for me about my flow state is figuring out what's authentically me, regardless of what's going on on the outside of me and the outside world, what everyone else is doing, what feels good to me, right? And then I say, figure out what that thing is and do more of that thing that feels good because it shifts your energy, it changes everything, and it changes your momentum. And the flow state is very much about momentum. And some of the most major shifts, right, that you can make in your life and in your business is figuring out what those things were that give you that added push or that added momentum. But here's the catch, that also feel good. That also feel good. Because feeling has a whole lot to do with what's going on in your life, in your business, with your money, how you're creating your money. It has a lot to do with it. And who would have thought something so simple as me putting a little more air in my tires, right, would make the ride that much smoother. I mean, I felt like I was floating once I did that simple thing. And in my mind, I was like, man, I really lost it. Although I had been working out, it made me feel like um, the thing that I was going to be doing, because I'm going to ride my bike. I love it. I enjoy it. It increases, all of my energy and my vibrations, the whole everything for me. And it's super healthy, right? So there's so many benefits to that for me. But in that moment, I was just like, man, I really don't feel like doing this thing, when it was really just that I needed more air. I needed more air. What areas in your life do you need more air? Where do you need more momentum? Where do you need more of that thing that got you to the point? Like, we have these different points that we take in our life and our business where things are really flowing and working for us. Think back to when that was for you. What does that look like? Right? And get in full alignment with that thing or those things, right? So many things feel hard and frustrating, and oftentimes those are the things that are going to slow you down the most. If you can ever get in flow and get in alignment, everything will shift. That's my take.